Alright, so this is the end result of the top piece on flat shading. So flat shading is used for geometric man-made forms and shapes. Basically flat shapes. Alright. Next one, smooth blending or gradual transition shading. If the other one's used for flat objects, what is this type of shading used for, you think? Right, if you thought round objects like spheres and curved objects like cylinders and animals and trees and any round, smooth round surface is going to have more so this type of shading. It's when you create a sharp edge that you get angular, flatter values. Alright, so let me show you how you do that. So before we talked about using vertical, horizontal, diagonal, and diagonal lines to shade this kind of shading, flat shading. For this next one, so it's a gradual transition. Let's go back to this. Smooth blending is used for curved / organic objects. Organic meaning organisms, anything that's living typically. Alright, so more like naturally created objects. Obviously there are some that transcend the line here, so some organic animals and creatures are a little bit more angular, like a black widow has a nice little sharp edges, and it's the other way around too, so some man-made objects are rounded, like tires and toilet paper. Alright, so here we go. So to begin with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over because I'm left-handed. You don't have to do this. I just want to show you how to do like the way I do this. Alright, so starting at the lightest, I'm going to scratch the paper. And I like starting with diagonal. You don't have to do this. What I want to do is keep my lines nice and tight. And then I'm going to grab my pencil from about halfway, and I'm going to add more pressure. I actually chose a B pencil just accidentally, but it works. Find the tool that works for you. Notice how I backtracked there. And now I'm going to press a little harder. Okay, next I'm going to flip this over. Now I'm going to do it the opposite way. So I'm going to start at the darkest point, going diagonal the other direction. Okay, that was a little uncomfortable, so I decided to rotate the paper a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to press a little tighter. And I'm going to shade away, trying to keep my diagonal. And here I'm going to stop, grab the pencil from further back. And finish up. That's not strong yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change to a 2B pencil. I'm going to do my horizontal, sorry, no horizontal. I'm going to do a vertical. And I'm going to blend that until I have a nice smooth transition. That already looks really solid. Alright, so for this one I've used a vertical, diagonal, and diagonal. I repeat, do not use vertical line. My bad. Do not use horizontal line. Sorry if I confused you there. Alright. Reason why it's because it creates waves. Okay, now let me show you what I don't want to see. This is important. Make sure you follow along. So here's some smooth transition. Just about done here. I don't want to see this. Can you see how this just stops abruptly? Let me zoom in. Okay. Notice how this stops abruptly. It just stops all of a sudden. You want to fade that out. You don't have to erase anything. You just have to lightly hover the pencil while you grab it by the eraser, and you just fade it out. You want to fade it out as much as possible. Alright. I also don't want to see it somewhere in the middle. So if I go like this, you can clearly see where this is segmented. Remember, this isn't segmented shading, flat shading. That's for up here. Well, you want a smooth transition, so somehow or another, take your pencil and blend and blend and blend until I can't see that line anymore. If I see a line, that's a point against you. I hand the paper back if there are more than 3 strikes. I operate at a baseball on a baseball rule. 3 strikes and you're out, buddy. Alright, so that's smooth transition. I want to see a nice fade, a nice smooth transition. You can use a paper towel to kind of blend it a little bit, but I don't want you to rely on that. Alright, and lastly,